So this is really crazy. There was a rally in Arizona in which Trump supporters called for, quote, liberal genocide. So this is fucking crazy. I don't know about you guys, but I've never called for a conservative genocide because that would be a vast and inherent contradiction and hypocrisy of the supposed morals that we are supposed to have as, number one, Americans. But, you know, whatever party you're a part of, you automatically normally assume that you have higher morals, so clearly be stupid. They also called for the deportation of Jews at the Arizona rally. So I'm assuming that people like Ben Shapiro and others are not feeling very welcomed here. But what's very interesting about this is that this is not the typical conservative type of thing, okay? These are the actual racist Trump supporters that everyone talks about. We're going to get a microscope and look at this. So I'm going to read you guys this from Raw Story. They say, Maricopa County burnished its reputation as the Trumpiest in America last weekend as hundreds of locals, including heavily armed militiamen, white nationalists, and even a few elected fucking officials, gathered to support the 45th president. The ensuing march for Trump was as horrifying as it sounds. I heard, lock her up, and we still need to pursue that, announced Arizona Congressman Anthony Kern, a nod to a prominent Trump campaign promise to imprison then Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. First of all, for that comment, I don't see that one nearly as bad as the rest of them, because you could always make the argument quite easily that if you were to indict someone, anybody, a citizen, of doing that same crime, and you wouldn't indict Hillary Clinton of such, then that would mean that she is above the law, and again, we know that nobody's above the law. Another one, they say, if you don't like it here, go to Syria, go to someplace else, one attendee shouted. You know what? I've never really understood this comment of go back to where you came from or whatever. I know this isn't like where you came from and whatnot, but he's saying, I don't even know what kind of, like, if you don't like it here, go to Syria. Like, why wouldn't we go to, like, Canada or a better country, the UK or some shit? Anywhere better. Like, first of all, there's no logic there, but I don't understand what the sentiment and the reasoning behind this whole comment is in the first place, right? I mean, the part of what these guys wanted, which was an Iraqi invasion, led to the formation of ISIS, and now they are the ones causing the massive problems that our civilians are facing. Horrible, circumstances. Of course, Assad was horrible too, but they made it worse. So I don't understand what their point is. I don't want them. As a veteran, I don't want them. Let them go back home, another seconded. If they've got a problem, let Saudi Arabia take care of them. You know what's ironic about this? You know, George Bush was a huge Saudi Arabia guy. The whole Bush family, the whole Clinton family, everyone is, right? So the idea that someone actually represents them is, like, there's some kind of politician that represents them. I know that this is what people think about Trump, too. But Trump has shady shit everywhere else, too. I don't really get this one either. Why would we go to Saudi Arabia and not Canada? Canada is a country accepting of things, and obviously there's the UK and other countries. So that whole thing is stupid. Some even dared to tell Dan Cohen of the Real News Network how they'd make America great again now that Trump was in office and Muslims weren't the only religious minority unwelcome. If she, quote, if she is Jewish, she should go back to her country, a 13-year-old Trump supporter said of a protester. This is America. We don't want Sharia law. Christian country, he added. Okay, let's unpack this motherfucking shit. Who the fuck is advocating for Sharia law, you fucking jackass dipshit? Are you retarded? This is one of the dumbest things. And then to just throw in their Christian country. Like, have you even read the First Amendment? It says that it shall make no laws regarding religion. It literally says that. It's a secular nation, so to throw in the whole Christian nation thing shows how little you know basics of the Constitution. But to sprinkle that on there, you say we don't want Sharia law. Motherfucker, no one wants Sharia law, you dumbass. Anyways, One man insisted that Senator John McCain was a secret communist. Why would John McCain be a communist? Well, this has been one of the dudes who's been massively for tax cuts and massively for conservative advocacy policies. Like, you know, he doesn't want Obamacare and all this shit. He doesn't care about people, and he just wants to say, fuck you guys. Tax breaks to the rich are the best way to go. Lower taxes on the rich and all this type of shit. All this garbage. So, if you're calling John McCain a communist, what would you call Bernie Sanders? Holy fuck. Okay. I think there's a lot there. He said a Pizzagate, a deranged right-wing conspiracy theory that Clinton's campaign chairman John Podesta was running a child prostitution ring out of a Washington, D.C. pizzeria, definitely enough to warrant an investigation. Who would give this type of person the time of day in a real conversation? What, dude, we found out that Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the White House. How would we not be able to figure out about Hillary Clinton's campaign chair having a sex ring, a child sex ring out of a fucking pizzeria? How retarded can you get? How stupid is this? There's no actual evidence for this. This is dumb conspiracy theories that you should not waste your time on. These are the people who waste their time on it. And then they say, the day's proceedings would grow uglier still. I just want to let them know that I can't wait for the liberal genocide to begin, an oath keeper shouted at a small group of protesters. That's the way to make America great again. Liberals are destroying the country. Holy fuck. And this is what Noam Chomsky talks about, and I'm going to break this down for you guys, okay? So, this is probably one of the scariest type of retarded comments that I've ever seen in my life, right? Threatening to ensue violence because of a political belief, especially one that is actually not one that is advocating for genocide, such as a Nazi one would. But I would probably make the case that you probably shouldn't be out there calling for the genocide of, supposed Nazis, I guess, because, they're not with arms and things like that, although that is quite controversial. But, boy, oh boy. So this is the thing, right? So, a lot of Democrats or liberals, whatever you want to call them, right? They have been doing violent protests. Here's my problem, guys. Stop the violent protest. Violent protests go deeply against our moral code and our moral compass and make ourselves massively contradictory and hypocritical. And it would totally wipe away and make every claim that we have absolutely erroneous because of what we what we claim to stand for, but in reality we're pretending if this is what we're fucking doing. So things like what Noam Chomsky said about punching Richard Spencer, he said, no, you shouldn't, because in a ring of both people punching, we're stooping to their level and they're gonna win. Because obviously they're savages, right? But that's under the pretense that we would just be sticking to things like punching and all that whatnot. But the point here is guys, in order, whatever Michelle Obama said, they go down, we go up. It's pretty true, actually, as corny as that fucking sounds, and I know you guys don't expect someone as authentic as me, wink, wink, to say something like that. It's so true in this situation. I think it's really important because this whole thing of violent protests going on, it's disgusting. Martin Luther King Jr. did not do this. He did not win over so many people and so many people's influence by doing that. It's a failed way. Gandhi didn't do it. The way to really get your message across is by non-violent protest. By all means, I'm down for protest. Don't go fucking crazy, though. Please, guys, keep your temper down. We have a democratic system in which it functions about 85 to 90% of the time. We'll have those few, Bush v. Gore ones where Bush just cheats the fuck out of it. But my point here is, guys, please keep it civil. We need to stick to our core beliefs and our main tenets as liberals, as progressives, as people who care about people, as people who want to make life better for the everyday American, as people who want to make life better for the 98%, as people who want to make, things more equal. Just this kind of thing is just ridiculous. That what we're trying to do. So, this whole thing is just ridiculous. So this fucking thing is just savage and ruthless. But like seeing violent people who claim to be liberals go and attack Trump supporters is massively hypocritical. It's massively contradictory, and it destroys our own fucking moral code that we claim to have. So stop the violent protests, because while they go down with these shitty comments, we go up, okay?